Hey guys, thanks for watching another teaching and this series on Yeshua and the Lion's Den, part 3. I love this teaching. Let's get to it. I'm excited. All right, Daniel 6:8. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, so that it cannot be changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which does not alter. Therefore, King Darius signed the written decree. Stop right there. I'm going to leave this up. Notice that it's signing the law, or the decree is brought forth to the king. I can't help but think that the Torah is written for the purpose of Messiah, or revealing the Messiah. I can't help but think that the Torah is the shadow. It's the very tutor that brings you to Messiah. It's the thing. It's just so wonderful. I don't want to get caught up on it, but just keep that in your mind, this whole thing, the Word becoming, the Torah becoming flesh. Verse 9, therefore King Darius signed the written decree. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went home, and in his upper room, with his windows open towards Jerusalem, he knelt down on his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as was his custom since early days. Watch this. This is awesome, because as soon as Daniel knows that the decree is signed, he goes home, and as soon as Messiah is having supper with his men, Judas goes to a place to betray him, and he goes to the Mount of Olives. Watch this. Matthew 26:42. And again, a second time he went away and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup cannot pass away from me unless I drink it, your will be done. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. So he left them away, and went away again, and prayed the 3rd time, saying the same words. Then he came to his disciples and said to them, Are you still sleeping and resting? Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is being betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand. So just as Daniel was found praying 3 times, making supplication before his God, Messiah was found praying 3 times, and making supplication before his God. Daniel chapter 6, verse 11. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God. John 18, it's connected to John 18:2. And Judas, who betrayed him, also knew the place, for Yeshua, Jesus, often met there with his disciples. Then Judas, having received the detachment of troops and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, came there with lanterns, torches, and weapons. And Jesus, therefore, knowing all things that would come upon him, went forward and said to them, Who are you seeking? You see how all this connects? It's just awesome. I love the scriptures when you can see, the Spirit of the Lord being revealed. It's just so beautiful. These things were hidden in time past, but now, in Messiah Yeshua, these things are the wisdom and the power of God. My goodness. Let's get excited about things like this. I just love it. Daniel 6:12. And they went before the king and spoke concerning the king's decree. Have you not signed a decree that every man who petitions any god or man within 30 days except you, O king, shall be cast into the lion's den? So here they go, right? They have brought accusation to the king already. The king answered and said, the thing is true according to the law in the Medes and Persians, which does not alter. Verse 13. So they answered and said before the king, that Daniel, who is one of the captives from Judah, does not show due regard for you, O king, or for the decree that you've signed, but makes his petition 3 times a day. Watch this. And so they catch Daniel in the act of praying to Yehovah towards Jerusalem. They come and they catch Messiah praying to Yehovah. Where? On the Mount of Olives towards Jerusalem. You can't make this stuff up. For when people, when people say that Yeshua is not the Messiah and you can't prove that in the scriptures, and I read stuff like this, for me, it's undeniable. You can't, a man can't make this stuff up. Men are not this smart. We are not this wise. Not even close, actually. Men cannot bring up these thematic connections. It's impossible. It just is. And the way that they're written like this too, no way. You can't make it up. Watch this. Matthew 27:1. When morning came, all the chief priests and elders of the people plotted against Yeshua to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor. Luke 23:1. Then the whole multitude of them arose and led him to Pilate. And they began to accuse him, saying, We found this fellow perverting the nation and forbidding to pay taxes to Caesar, and saying that he himself is the Christ, the King. Did you notice that last part, forbidding to pay taxes to Caesar? That's really reminiscent of Esther, I think. How Haman comes to the king, and he says, look, these people forbid to pay taxes against you. They have like completely different laws than you. And in this too, in Luke 23:1, forbidding to pay taxes to Caesar, it's reminiscent of the law of the Medes and the Persians of not being able to, worship this specific God. So they broke a specific law, and now the Pharisees and Sadducees are bringing Yeshua to Pilate, and ultimately Herod also, saying that he is breaking their law. So anyways, I hope you're blessed with this. I'll bring out chapter 4 pretty soon. Peace in Yeshua's name.